Hi, this is Janice, and this is day 11 of 100 Days of Code. And this video again is to track my progress as well as hold myself accountable. So, day 11, today I focused on randomization, working with the random module in Python. And so, there are times when you're creating your programs where you need to integrate randomization. And what that is you're actually integrating some level of unpredictability in your program. So, for example, Tetris, when you're playing it, the blocks fall and you don't know the color that's going to fall. Sometimes you don't know the direction it'll fall. That's randomization. Another example would be mm, password creators or password generators. And then in ethical hacking, we have brute force generators. And so those use randomization in order to randomize the numbers or whatever it is they're integrating within that program. So because randomization is so common, Python actually has a module, which is kind of like a library, which is known as the random module. And it already has stored algorithm in it in order to call it into your code so you don't have to do all the work yourself. You can also create your own modules, but I'm going to go over a few of the random module functions um, that particular module utilizes. So let's go ahead and let's work with the random integer. So if you're wanting to integrate a random integer in your code, the first thing you would do is import the random module. So this is going to pull from that random module. And we know that when you're executing your code, it executes from top to bottom. So you want to start with your random module being imported in. Okay, then you can utilize one of the functions. So we're going to work with a random integer function. And so you would start by setting a variable. So we'll call this rand integer. And so here is this is going to call from the random module. And then this is actually going to specify that it's a random integer, which is a whole number. Then you need to indicate the range. So we'll say 1 through 10. And just to show you, we're going to print this. Control E. It looks like my internet is, so let's see. Oh, forgot the N. Let's run it again. And so you can see it generated a 7. So each time you actually run this, it'll generate a new random integer. So that's how that works. Looks like I'm having a little bit of connectivity issues. So let's go ahead and work with a random floats. So again, you want to set your variable. Again, this is going to call from the random module. And then a random float would be, and just to verify, so Python, if you go to askpython.com, it has documentation and you can search for it. So it's random. Okay, and so we're going to use random. And for this one, you actually don't need to put anything in there. It's already preset to pull from 0.0 to 0.99999 indefinitely. So let's go ahead and print that. And then we can execute it and see that it did print. If you continue to run it, each time it generates a new random float. So that's how those work. You can also set your own. So let's do my list. Let's actually set this with names. So we'll use a list. And then if we run it, well, let's put print. This one is random choice. My list. And so each time you run this, you should see that it changes, randomly chooses, and sometimes it can choose the same name, but it's still a random order. And there you have randomization.